Hello everybody, welcome back. Graham here. Thank you for joining me on this channel. It's episode 24. So, last episode I was talking a lot about Lupron and the side effects, the skin change, blood in the urine, hair loss, and that was more about the radiation side of it after I've had the radiotherapy. And they did mention about a lot of little side effects you'll notice. Headaches, memory or concentration problems, skin changes, blurry vision, all these things that happened very subtly over a period of time. But as you move forward, you get over those things and you start seeing little improvements, except for our friend the Lupron. This constant shadow that you go through for probably about 2 to 3 years, those injections. Now my injection started on a monthly basis. Obviously it started with the tablet form, then it moved to the monthly injection, and then I moved to the quarterly injection. And those side effects are a whole new deal. And I've talked about in previous episodes that you have to learn to live with Lupron, and it is that shadow that bears its, or should I say, it reminds you that it's there when you have your quarterly injection. Now I've just had another injection, and before that I was feeling great. I had energy back, I was doing things, I was getting motivated, and then suddenly you have that injection and within 2 to 3 days it reminds you that it's back. Now I'm talking about the swelling, the hot flushes. I mean, if you see me, change colour, that's me just having a hot flush, But the fatigue is probably the most dominant one that sets in quite quickly after your injection. Back pain. I have a lot of issues because I'm asthmatic. I have a lot of problems with my trachea, through coughing and through other mucus or gathering of the mucus in the trachea. So, Lupron doesn't help. It just compounds my subtle little issues I have. Chest pain, another one. Sweating. Oh God, the sweating at night. I talked to my wife about these things, and I do remember my mother going through premenopausal, and one of the big complaints, and even my wife is now talking about it, is the premenopausal is obviously the headaches, the sweating. She's talked about a little bit about shaking, things like that. I can now, I'm a man, I don't go through the premenopausal, or do I? I don't know. But through Lupron, I can recognize some of the symptoms, and that is the sweating or the fatigue, the mood swings. I don't really have mood swings. I mean, I have bouts of, I talked about this in the last time when I was doing some jobs around the house and something went wrong. I felt myself emotionally getting charged about something, and I had to bring myself calm, breathe, and take back control, because sometimes you can lose control of something, and I don't know if that is one of the side effects or it's just something I have. Muscle loss. We all talk about that. We all go through that period of inactivity for a couple of years with Lupron. And you do have that muscle loss. Now, I made a conscious decision at the beginning of the year that I was going to make a lot of changes in my health, also how I feel on a day-to-day basis, and bring my health issues alongside my day-to-day. I mean, I've done that for years with asthma. You learn how to deal with your asthma. They always say that, 2 puffs in the morning, 2 puffs in the evening. You've got the blue inhaler if you start, if you want to, or you begin to do some exercising, the expansion of the lungs. So you have the preventer, which I take in the morning, and then you have the blue inhaler if you need it. But it's just like the Lupron, isn't it? It's like, why have my injection, and then I know I'm going to go through that process of feeling these side effects, and only after probably the 3rd or 4th week you start to feel a little bit better again. So it's like, it's up, down, up, and it's living side by side something, isn't it? But the point I'm making is that once you get into that process of understanding the side effects and which ones you're dealing with, then I guess you can actually start to know the highs and the lows, identify them, and start to think, okay, well, I'm going to feel better there. I'm going to really start to get motivated about something, and I'm going to get on and do it because I know I'm going to have that energy level there. I don't know, am I overstating something? I don't think so, because I am only relating to what I deal with myself. These are my feelings, my experiences, and my day-to-day handling of something that has been a big part of my life now. And moving forward, I want to talk about how do you move past that. Psychologically, you went through something, cancer, but not caught early, caught very late, very aggressive, very, your body was on a point of no return nearly, and that is, I guess, the emotional side or the psychological side that you have to start moving past and saying, yeah, that was a stage in my life I dealt with, now I'm over it, or I'm getting over it, and I need to start thinking about the future and what it holds for me. And it's a thought that keeps on coming back on a regular basis now, especially when I'm starting to feel better after the quarterly injection. And I know we all have our PSA take, and just before we have our 6 monthly conversation with our senior consultant, and it's it's something I think, well, what am I going to tell that person this time? And yes, everything's starting to feel a little bit more normal, but when am I going to get off this Lupron? Because if I get off the Lupron, I know I can then really start to build, and I know the conversation, how it's going to go. She's going to turn around, or he's going to turn around and say, well, sorry, Mr. Marsh, your cancer was very aggressive, and we need to keep you going on this for at least another 1.5 years. So what do? I go back to that question. I live with it. I live with Lupron, in my life, side by side, going up and down, up and down, up and down, until I get the, I guess, the confirmation that my PSA is stabilized to the point where they're happy, and it's pretty much there now, but and yes, we can now move past the Lupron stage. And I know there's many guys out there who are thinking exactly the same as me and working with the same feelings and same emotions. Anyway, I hope this little chat has meant something. It does to me, because it helps me move past or deal with my current situation. And it's great to talk to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.